I think of the term imagery, I immediately, and within music-wise, I immediately think of the alternative rap culture. Now, there's just something about the way artists like 93 Feet of Smoke, Young Burial, and Shinigami think regarding their process when it comes to creating tracks. When you look at artists work more in depth, at least specifically like songs from songs from the past and now, there's obviously clear differences, and even you can see their past influences as well, which is that could be a good thing or a bad thing regarding of which influences they decide to go off of. But when I think of 93 Feet of Smoke, the immediate words that come to my mind is captivating, depressingly comforting. Those are the words that I use. There's just something about the screaming vocals with the intense use of bass, along with the soft sounding beats and the guitar samples and whatever. There's just something that works with all of these things combined, and they create almost very dark imagery in the lines of real realness, isolation, and obviously depression. They're in a song like I Hate Fucking Being Numb. The main sound of the song is very, the best way I like to describe this is very title fight-ish, where it sounds kind of like, at least with the guitar and everything, it sounds like something that Title Fight would use. And there's, with the bass and the vocals, especially the more emotional vocals, really make it sound like a depressing rainy day type environment when you hear that song. And because of this, it's a song that you can listen to in two different ways, really. The one way is obviously like this. It does sound like a song that would get the crowd going, and you kind of want to unironically rock out to it, even though it's actually sad and depressing when you really listen and read the lyrics. And obviously that's the other part. It's something that you kind of it's a song that you kind of it's not really a song you cry to. I mean, it could be, but for the most part I feel it perfectly captivates the feeling of feeling numb. Another perfect example would be Scream My Name, Leave My Body in the Stairwell, a mixture between kind of echoey sound within the screaming vocals. And the best way I could describe this is more like it's definitely not like a Deftones, but what Deftones normally does is they have the echoey vocals with the soft heavy sound. That's kind of how I describe this one. However, this one isn't really heavy in the sense of the instruments. This is just heavy in the sense of where the vocals are going and the instrumentals following with the vocals. It does make it sound like you are hearing him yell in a stairwell. And I think he did a perfect example or a perfect job of using imagery in the sense of that does sound like, or the name of the song and the sound of the song all reflects, and the entire song becomes one whole thing, a vision. The other two songs are probably the most impacting ones for me. I don't know what it is. Or actually, I do know what some of it is, but like, it's not necessarily the lyrics for this one, but these are another good examples of songs that you would be yelling, or that you'd be singing out loud at a show, but also feeling like garbage on a really depressing day. Lions Say I Love Her was actually I think I listened to a whole bunch before, but that one I do get mixed up with the time that I heard that for the first time and the time I heard Lies Cellar for the first time. But for the most part, we're going to start off with Lions Say I Love Her. Lions Say I Love Her is nothing much of a... It's nothing really... I can't really call it a masterpiece, but it is a good song to sing along to, but it's also a good song to listen to when you're sad. But in all honesty, the song that hits me the most is Lies Cellar. And Lies Cellar is not necessarily a sad song, nor is it really depressing. The lyrics of it aren't really impactful or anything, but there's just something about the imagery I see whenever I hear the instrumentals to this song. This song is essentially the definition of when you listen to a loud post-hardcore song, really. And hear me out, right? So like a song like I guess the best example I would use is Ally for Cody by Senses Fail. If I was to blast that, or when there was one point in time where I blasted that song in my ear and I felt emotion, and it was a mixture between anger and frustration. But with that one I can see was more likely for the lyrics. But even the sound on that song impacted me, had that impact and made me feel that way. When I hear Lies Cellar, it's almost kind of like a song that you would want to listen to after a breakup, just for the sound alone. It's not, again, like I said, the lyrics really have nothing to do with it, and the vocals are not really, they're not entirely like, they don't really entirely like make you feel uncomfortable or sad, but they're on the edge of that point. But essentially, when I hear this song, the first thing I think of is some, and this is very specific, but I think it's based off the movie The Invincible from 2007. But I essentially think of a rich high school student getting drunk and getting into a car accident. But in the process of this, someone that loved him, who is more of like an upper middle class / maybe like lower down class female, that that admired him, but it was like think about like crowd wise, like fitting in with the crowd wouldn't work. And that's kind of what I see when I hear that song. And it's not really, and again, this has no effect on me. And again, I don't know what it is. I think there's just a little bit of influence from the 2007 movie The Invincible. The Invisible, not The Invincible. The Invisible. But yeah, I just can't help but think of a car crash when I hear that song. And yeah, there's just, I feel like I covered almost everything. I guess a bonus would be, I know I only mentioned the artist, but I didn't talk about their work, primarily because this was a video I wanted to make, considering that it's kind of I guess you could say a spin-off to the depression video. it's just a small portion from the Depression video that I wanted to make into a separate video for some reason. But yeah, for Shinigami, I guess it's technically a feature, but It Never Rains Anymore. That's another good one. With 93 Feet of Smoke. That one is more of a, that one I actually heard on a Little Peep playlist. And when I think of that one, I think of primarily kind of the same feeling as I Hate Fucking Being Numb, but it's kind of maybe a little bit more grayer, and it's again kind of like with, like, you know, Young Love, but or actually, but more of a breakup. It's definitely like more of a breakup. And the other one for Young Burial, I would say is this is a really weird one, but I'm pretty sure it's called I Don't Want to Talk, Leave the Racks on the Curb, which is a very specific song with very specific, you know, lyrics dedicated to like something that really doesn't matter within like depression or anything like that, like 93 Feet of Smoke, for example. But the sound-wise kind of hits me in the same way as Lie Cellar, but it's not as impactful. When I hear that song, it's honestly, I need more time to study for that song. But yeah, I hope this video didn't come off as like completely useless information, or if you know, if you do relate to how I feel about the artists, or if you didn't really look at music that way and you kind of want to look at music now that way, or you didn't even hear about these artists and now I'm introducing them to you, definitely go check out 93 Feet of Smoke. He came out with a new song called I've Been Outside. Pretty good song. Not as good as any of the ones I listed. And while I do think probably about most of the ones I listed are considered overplayed and over talked about within the fandom, I think that these again, these hit me in more ways than some throwaway track like 100K. So yeah, take what you learned. And yeah, this one I'm not really pushing, so do whatever the hell you want with this video. I don't really care if you share it or not. I just wanted to make it. Peace.